Hey friend, thanks for joining me. Today I am going to show you the Pullman Loaf Pan in case this is something that you have been interested in using. Okay, so I have my bread. I just needed, I did the triple batch of the adaptive bread Becker's recipe that I like to use. And I used the dough hook. I'm going to show you that just so you can see how the dough hook worked. And I'm still experimenting with the dough hook. I've used it quite a bit now, but there's always room to learn more. Okay, so the Pullman Loaf Pan, and this is obviously more dough than is going to fit in this pan. I only have one of these pans, and I'll show it to you. This is the inside dimensions. I'm sorry, so you can see. This is the 9 by 4, and then it is 4 inches deep. And then you have your lid, and this is what is going to give you the super square loaf, because this has a very straight edge, as you can see. It's a taller loaf, and then it's just a perfect rectangle. Now what I'm going to do when I put it in my oven, and I will spray the inside of this, but when I put it in my oven to bake, I'm going to turn it so that when I open my oven, I'm going to put it in my oven like this with the lid so I can pull it toward me. So when I open my oven door, I can just take this off, because I'm actually going to pull the lid off the last 5 minutes of baking so I can help that right there get a little bit more of a brown top. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, so I'm going to just spray. I've got my extra glass pans. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I like to bake in glass. These are nice. I just spray these with the kitchen vegetable spray, generic. But for this, I'm not going to use this type of spray in these pans. This type of spray is not good for pans with the non-finished coating, because it can damage the coating that is on there. So this is actually olive oil, and I'm just going to spray inside of that, make sure it's got a good coating to it. And I could run my fingers around that if I wanted to. And I'm going to spray my lid just to make sure, because I don't want the dough to stick to that. Okay, now this is so soft. I let this sponge without the oil, that's another thing I'm still experimenting, for about 20 minutes. I added half the flour and all the ingredients except for the oil to let that sit. Now what I want is about half full in this pan. Also too, I don't weigh my ingredients. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people. Maybe one day when I have a little more time. I'm gonna play with this and just make sure I'm getting the right amount in there. That looks like it's gonna be too much. Roll it up and see. And I'm still working on my method of how I roll out my dough. Oh wow, okay. So I'll show you this. This is where we're at. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it with that. You can see where it's at in the pan. See that? I'm actually going to take it out and weigh it just for you, so you'll know. Hang on, let me let my scale set. All right, so it's tared to 0, 1,116 grams, or 39.36 ounces of dough. So that's how much I've got. Pop that back in there. I could probably use a hair more, but I think I'd rather have a little too less than a little too much. All right, so this is the Pullman pan, the 9x4. It's ready to go. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on here so it can start rising. Now I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap in that while it's rising so I can see, obviously, how close it's getting up to the top, and I'll show you that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get the remainder of the dough in these pans. And I'll just let you watch this footage in case you're curious, but I'll speed it up so you're not just watching me in real time. Rise. I'm going to get a box and cover them. I like to let them have a covering over them while they rise, and then I'll flip the camera back on so you can see how the bread looks that's in the Pullman pan, and also how the other bread loaves are looking. See you soon. Okay, so I'm back. I have no idea how long this has risen for. Obviously, I was not keeping a good check on my bread in the bread pan. All right, those are looking pretty good. They're not quite ready to go. Just gonna slide them out of the way. All right, so I've had this happen before where you saw how much dough I put in there. Maybe I should have put a little bit less. Really, I should have been paying better attention. So I don't want it to fall because I don't want to do a second rise. So I'm just going to pinch this off. Okay, not ideal, but hey. All right, so you can see that right there. So the oven is warming up, and as soon as it gets hot, it's probably going to take it another 5 minutes or so to get hot. I'm going to put this in the oven and let it bake. And I'll show you a picture of that. Hey, I did forget to mention, and I'm adding this into my video right now. If you are interested in purchasing this pan, please use the link in the description of the video. That will take you to my favorite small town business, and I really love to support them. That's where I purchase my grains from, and I encourage you to support them as well. So there you go. Just look for the link in the description. Okay, so the oven is now hot. I've got it set to 350 degrees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pan in the oven like this so I can slide the lid off. It's already squishing out. It's going to cook for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to open the oven, pull the lid off, and then cook it for another 5. So you can see how I'm putting this in the oven. All right, so now I'm going to get my timer set, and then we'll come back to it in 20 minutes. Okay, so my 20-minute timer just went off. I'm going to pull the lid off of the pan and then reset my timer for 5 minutes. All right, make sure you can see the oven. Ooh, show it. I've got on my gloves, and you can see. All right, you can see that come off. That's okay. All right, so we got 5 more minutes. Okay, so I just put the Pullman pan back in the oven for the last 5 minutes. I just took the lid off of these. You can see how nicely they've risen. And as soon as that loaf comes out of the oven, I'll put these in and they will bake for 25 minutes. Okay, so the timer has gone off. I'm gonna take that out of the oven and put in these other bread loaves. Let's see how it looks. All right, there it is. These in there super fast. Hopefully they won't fall. Okay, good. All right, you can turn it off. Okay, so this has been out of the oven for 20 minutes. I can touch it, it's still hot. I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready to cut because I have someone who wants to eat some of it. Hang on, can't grip it good. Trying to be careful because I don't want it to come apart. I have this kind of problem. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! I usually don't have that much trouble. So you can see how that looks. There. Okay. And we're going to slice it. There you are. Yay! Okay, that's good. Hey, so while I was editing the film, I realized that I had not done a thank you for watching, a little closure video for you. I honestly forgot, we got busy, and I didn't do anything more. So I just thought I would show you 2 of the 3 loaves that I put in the freezer. I don't even really let them cool that long, and I put them in a bag, and I wrap them up. These are some seriously old bags that I've just reused over the years, and you can even tell like the pictures have rubbed off some. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the Pullman Loaf Pan, there's 2 different sizes that's available on the Bread Baker's website with the lid. If they're not available when you go into purchase, just put in your email address and they will let you know when those do come available. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you don't mind, hit a subscribe button for me. I'd appreciate it. And if you hit the little bell, or it may say join now, YouTube's been changing some things around. But if you'll hit that, that'll let you know when I post a new video. That way you can tune in. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.